Hello, how you guys doing? They are saying Diddy is planning to sue. Yeah, even though he's in his lawsuit right now, this video is talking about Diddy is planning to sue the bodyguards because he says that the bodyguards is putting out these tapes of Diddy doing so many crazy things, coercing people to do different things on those tapes. He is blaming the bodyguard for releasing it to the public. And they are saying he's planning to sue. I don't know if this video is all true or not, but I know that you guys will probably want to watch this video so you guys can judge for yourself. So let's watch this video in its entirety. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. Check this out.
There's been a delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday.
He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough.
So literally just leaving the federal courthouse, lots happened today. The big thing is there is still no jury.
Witnesses are missing and jurors are backing out as Diddy's trial was just delayed. Diddy is allegedly coming after witnesses and is planning to sue his ex-bodyguard for speaking out against him. Cassie is set to testify against Diddy this week, and now reports are coming out that Cassie might need witness protection. Where did witness number 3 disappear, and why are jurors scared of speaking out against Diddy? Let's break it down.
With the selection of a jury in the Sean Diddy Combs case almost complete, prosecutors are preparing for opening arguments on Monday, but they admit there's a snag. One of their key witnesses against the rapper appears to have gone missing. This comes as we learn that Combs' ex-girlfriend, who was seen on video being assaulted by the rapper, is pregnant. Here's Les Trent.
Is a key witness in the Sean Diddy Combs trial backing out? Victim number 3, as she's called, was set to testify against the music mogul. The name of victim number 3 was going to be revealed when she took the stand, but the woman has apparently gone missing, and prosecutors say they've been unable to reach her.
People just get nervous, and this person could just be nervous and just has had second thoughts.
If the prosecutor can't find this witness, how might it affect the case?
Look, I don't think it's going to have a tremendous effect. The prosecution is going to call a number of alleged victims. So look, this is just one less.
Someone else is also getting cold feet. A juror sent an email to the judge asking to be removed from the panel for issues of personal well-being.
Prosecutors have just revealed that victim 3 is missing, and there are reports that Diddy has something to do with their alleged disappearance. Diddy has a habit of coming after people that speak out against him, and let's not forget that Diddy was constantly trying to contact and intimidate witnesses from within prison.
Well, I mean, on the surface, if the prosecutor's claims are true, this seems like pretty much textbook witness tampering, right? I mean, it appears to be an effort to either, in some cases, intimidate witnesses from testifying against him, or there have been other reports of sort of inducing people to make statements in his defense. There was some allegation that in one instance this was a statement that he in essence dictated or drafted with a woman who made a statement that was attempting to rebut one of the accusers, I believe, in a civil case against him. I mean, witness tampering is bad. The things that Sean Combs is accused of are terrible. He pleads his innocence. The justice system will presumably work its way through.
It is likely that there is some underlying truth to at least some of the allegations. There might be a lot of underlying truth to a lot of the allegations. There's probably some bandwagoning going on. We spoke to an attorney who's for one of the alleged victims of Diddy a few weeks ago. I believe Amber Nomiki and I did. And they said they had calls, they had information, they had people, hundreds of them, come forward. They're not going to represent all of them. They're, which ones have evidence that can be compelling. What are the best cases to bring that? I also saw a story in the New York Post. This is from a week ago about Diddy stuff that I wanted to read the headline of. Woman claims she saw minors dressed as Harajuku Barbies at Sean Diddy Combs' FreakOFF parties, what he was describing there to Conan so many years ago. Said these were sex-fueled parties with what she initially thought were little people dressed as Japanese Barbies. And she said, this is her talking to TMZ, are those midgets? And she actually thinks they were they were kids dressed up as sexy.
Oh, great.
So again, that's just from someone who provided this information to TMZ for a documentary.
Yeah.
But pretty disgusting.
It is. No, that's
Call records from the Metropolitan Detention Center, where Diddy is being held, show that Diddy was trying to pay off witnesses, and in one instance, called a victim 200 times trying to intimidate and pay them off. Diddy would call his family members and then ask them to add a victim or a witness to the call. This way, it can't be tracked who Diddy was talking to. Gene Deal, Diddy's ex-bodyguard, also received a message from Diddy telling him to stop talking about him and that enough is enough.
And you right about Diddy phone being tough, because news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy. She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me, telling me enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors enough is enough. You didn't tell me about this. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you? No, I got a phone call from Kirk Burrows. And Kirk Burrows, and I ain't gonna get this guy no play. Not Kirk Burrows, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he want to reach out to you, Gene. He want to speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burrows did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough? This is relayed to me by Kirk Burrows. This guy is like this with Diddy. You seen him on Drink Champs with him. You see him walking the streets in Miami with him, the whole 9 yards. So I'm saying to him, what does he want to talk to me for? He ain't got nothing to say to me. He said, yo, Gene, he said enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough to what? And I told Kirk Burrows, yo, if he wanted, I said, he don't want to talk to me for himself. He wants to talk to me for Diddy. And I ain't got nothing to say to him. He ain't said enough is enough to Wolf Mother when he cursed her out and told her all kinds of shit. Did he say enough is enough to Big's mother? What do you mean enough is enough? That's how that conversation went.
How did you feel about it after you were done?
I felt that, like, they must have got at Kirk Burrows, because Kirk called me with the bullshit. Yo, you got to fix that. You know this, man. God, excuse me. Listen here, bro. I don't care nothing about none of these industry cats and what they do and how they do it. That's their business. You understand? I will tell a man how to screw his wife and how to spend his money. You don't tell me what I got to do with my tongue. Point blank.
You know, do you feel like at some point Diddy could try to come after you or do something? You know, being that he's went after a lot of people. He's did a lot of stuff, as you know about.
Cam, let me tell you something, man. If I'm worried about what somebody would do for me, I wouldn't be the man that I am.
Gene Deal saw firsthand how Diddy was carrying out his abuse, and it was only after Diddy tried to drug his girlfriend that Gene realized that Diddy was too far gone. Gene tried to stop Diddy, but Diddy didn't care.
A couple of parties I seen and I knew that they were spiking drinks. My girl was at the New Year's party, right? I'm at the front door. I got to make sure everybody got their passes and everything like that. So then my girl and her girlfriend is in the party. So they get bottles of champagne. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking for them. After everybody comes, they close the door. So I'm going knocking in doors, looking at people. I'm looking for my kid's mother now. What's going on? And I'm getting hysterical. So I decided to go to the car, and I looked in the car. She was in the car asleep. She said, Gene, we started drinking the champagne, and I didn't feel good. And me and Debbie came here and went to sleep. And my whole thing about it is that Puff wasn't right what he did to people around us, man. He wasn't right what he did to people around us. Him being hard-headed, not listening, and not telling the truth and constantly lying cost a lot of people their lives, man. It cost a lot of people their lives. I want him to understand. When I told him, if we don't do something to these doors, people gonna die tonight. And forget, and I want to say F what other people say. Everybody know I told him that. Our whole crew know I told him that. From Slick to Nord, Bunny, Big Boy, Eddie, all the people that was with us that night. Know I told him that. 9 people end up dead.
Gene Deal was the only one on Diddy's team that didn't sign an NDA, and that's why he's able to reveal Diddy's secrets. Diddy made everyone who participated in his freak-off parties sign an NDA to stop them from being able to speak out. There were women who worked for Diddy and Bad Boy Entertainment that were being pimped out to other record company executives.
Right. And I know you ain't signing. I know you ain't signing NDA, clearly. But did Diddy make his artists sign NDAs and people that work for him?
Well, a lot of these rappers, a lot of these industry people, anybody who does business nowadays with the internet, they have NDAs, non-disclosure. That means that if you work for them, you around them, you can't disclose any of the information about them. It's the same thing that he gave to all his artists when he gave them their publishing back. I'm going to give y'all publishing, but y'all can't talk about Janice Combs, Justin Combs, Sony, Bad Boy, or anything that happened. Y'all can't talk about none of that. But there's some artists that didn't say anything, that didn't sign it, and they able to talk about anything they want to.
Now Diddy's worried that he's going to end up behind bars. Jury selection is almost complete, and Diddy knows that he can't get away from this, so he has resorted to violence. There are bigger names than Diddy involved in this, and if Diddy goes down, they're going to go down with him. Jurors were given a list of celebrities that weren't even mentioned in the lawsuit, so it's interesting what the prosecutors are going to reveal later on.
Here's why Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, and more celebrities were name-dropped at Sean Diddy Combs' trial. As jury selection in the mogul's sex trafficking trial got underway May 5th in New York, NBC News reports prospective jurors were shown a list of more than 100 names of people and places that may be referenced during the trial, including actors Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, and rapper Kanye West. While the aforementioned celebrities are not implicated in the case, the potential jurors were asked whether they knew any of the names listed and whether it would impact their ability to be impartial, per the outlet. Attorneys did not share an explanation for the list. The names of women who have taken legal action against Combs were also on the list, including his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, whose November 2023 sexual abuse lawsuit against the rapper was settled one day after it was filed. Danity Kane alum Don Richard, who accused Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit filed in September, was also listed. Combs has denied any wrongdoing in both cases.
The candidates are being asked about their own connections to or impressions of an array of celebrities, and with no explanation why, at least not yet. The parlor games have begun, my friends. Everybody is trying to connect the dots between the shiny, famous names and the beleaguered rap star Diddy and the charges. Just today, the name Robert Downey Jr. came up in court. When a prospective juror said that he knew a Robert Downey in high school, it was kind of funny. But Robert Downey, the actor, and Diddy apparently do know each other and have been seen together in public. But Robert Downey Jr. reportedly never attended Diddy's parties. So if he does figure into this trial somehow, it's going to be a lot of news to a lot of us. Mike Myers, another favorite Canadian. favorite actor, favorite comedian. He is on the jury question list as well. And that too is a tongue-wagging mystery.
While some of Diddy's friends are being name-dropped, others have already started to step away from the spotlight because they know just how bad the backlash will be. Diddy was given a plea deal to snitch on the people he worked with, and these alleged criminals are worried. Dallas Bishop T.D. Jakes stepped down as lead pastor of the Potter's House megachurch, days after it was revealed that Diddy was given a plea deal to snitch on the people he worked with.
Big breaking news tonight. For the first time in the history of New York City, a sitting mayor has been indicted for crimes. ABC News reporting that Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We do not know yet the exact charges. Federal authorities have been investigating Adams and members of his staff, issuing subpoenas for documents and cell phones. Several members of administration have resigned. Some of them also friends of Mayor Adams. Again, Eric Adams, the 110th mayor of New York, has been indicted by a federal grand jury. We'll have the latest online and tonight on Eyewitness News at 11.
This was a shock to many in the religious community. Bishop T.D. Jakes has been a spiritual advisor to presidents and a religious voice to thousands. Now he says it's time to pass the baton to a new generation.
It's a beautiful moment for me.
From the pulpit Sunday, Bishop T.D. Jakes announced that he was stepping down from leadership at the Potter's House, the Dallas megachurch he founded in 1996 and has led ever since.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
This is video from the service Jakes is referencing in November. It wasn't until months after his medical incident that he confirmed to the public he had a heart attack. Now, 5 months later, he told his congregation he had been preparing his daughter, Pastor Sarah Jakes Roberts, and his son-in-law, Pastor Torrey Roberts, to take the lead.
With witnesses no longer safe, jury selection has been put on hold and Diddy's trial has been postponed. It is clear now that witnesses need federal protection to stop Diddy's friends from getting their hands on them.
So literally just leaving the federal courthouse. Lots happened today. The big thing is there is still no jury. They're so concerned about jurors backing out over the weekend once they find out that they're actually on the jury, that they're going to bring 43 of them back on Monday morning. They're going to strike them and then go right into opening statements. Part of that is because they received an email overnight that one juror backed out. She was like, this is just too much. I can't do it. Too much pressure. They had to strike another juror who did not give accurate information. He's engaged in a lawsuit with the city of New York and forgot to mention that. I have been in court every day this week. I've been in court every day since this whole case started, and I will be here every day in the courtroom all next week.
There's been a delay in jury selection in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs. The judge postponing the last phase of the process until Monday. Here's ABC's chief investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky.
This morning, Sean Combs is preparing to stand trial on sex crimes charges that could send him to prison for decades. The 12 people who will decide whether he's guilty are expected to be seated first thing Monday after lawyers make cuts from a pool of more than 40 prospective jurors. The judge initially wanted to do that on Friday, but changed his mind out of fear that jurors, if they had the weekend to think about it, would get cold feet. Once the jury is sworn, attorneys will deliver opening statements and the first witnesses will testify. Among them, Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura, one of the women federal prosecutors say was coerced into drugged-up sex marathons known as FreakOFFs.
Leaked calls from the MDC also revealed that Diddy had been trying to buy the silence of his accusers. Jay-Z did the same thing when he was named in a rape lawsuit in connection to Diddy. The victim was offered $10,000 to stay quiet and withdraw her case, and that is exactly what happened. Obviously, there were some kind of threats involved too, because why are victims and jurors suddenly backing out days before the actual trial?
Diddy Combs is facing new accusations tonight of attempting to pay off witnesses in his case, even while behind bars in Brooklyn. Prosecutors filed papers overnight saying a jail sweep uncovered evidence. Combs recently paid off an unnamed witness who had posted a statement to Instagram in what prosecutors say was an effort to try and taint the potential jury pool. The filing also accuses Combs of using phone accounts for at least 8 other inmates. Combs' legal team continues to ask the judge to give him a bail option, but prosecutors are again arguing bail should be denied.
With having $75 million at his disposal, isn't that by nature the exact thing that they're worried about? If you have this much money, that you could make this thing, you could probably make people disappear if you really opted to.
See, this is the thing. That'll just make more trouble. Why would he make more trouble now? He done already bought off and paid off everybody he possibly could. Have you looked at the indictment? Like, he called some witnesses up to 54 times.
Yeah, 200 and how many angels? 200 something people he tried to reach out to.
Like, what are you running, a telethon or a telemarketing agency? Telemarketers don't make that many calls in one day. Or sometimes not even in a week, all depending on you was on that. You down for Diddy?
What happens with exposures? You make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Interestingly, Diddy's new legal move is to try and shift the blame over to the victims. His lawyers have now revealed that they're going to claim that Cassie was the one who was violent in the relationship, and Diddy was only defending himself. This claim is completely unbelievable and easily disproved once you look at the tape of Diddy beating Cassie. Diddy is a dangerous and violent man.
All right. Now, let's get into what's going on with this Diddy trial, because there are some new things coming out as they're in the courtroom. And one thing that Diddy's defense team is leaning in on is saying that, yes, Diddy was abusive toward his ex Cassie, but they're also saying that she was no angel and allegedly got violent with him as well. It's day 4 of the Diddy trial, and the prosecutor and Diddy's attorney had a very interesting exchange with the judge. It kicked off with Johnson telling the judge that the victim one, who they believe is Cassie, will not be cross-examined about certain medical issues. But that's when Diddy's attorney said the defense is going to take the position there was a mutual violence in their relationship, hitting on both sides, DV, domestic violence. He said, we are absolutely going to admit to domestic violence, but at what point does it become coercive? And that's when the judge clarified, saying, you're arguing that they are just violent. And he said, right, we are saying that it's relevant. They also said they're submitting a letter to the court on the topic, and they're going to offer 2 cell phone videos and the corrected CNN footage of that infamous tape where you saw Diddy beating Cassie up at the Intercontinental Hotel in LA. If you recall, Diddy's team have been saying that tape was doctored. There was more to it. And so I guess they have the full video they are claiming that they're planning to bring up in court. So we'll see what happens.
As legal battles continue to mount for music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, his attorneys have pushed back against abuse allegations made by singer Cassie Ventura by claiming she too engaged in violent behavior during their relationship. In newly surfaced legal responses, Diddy's team argues that the narrative of him being the sole aggressor is one-sided, and they intend to present evidence suggesting mutual volatility. The claims come amid growing scrutiny over Diddy's past conduct, including federal investigations and multiple lawsuits.
Before this, Diddy was actually trying to claim that he couldn't be held liable for what he had done due to the effects of drugs on his mind. Diddy's lawyers claim that due to the effects of drugs and alcohol, Diddy didn't know what he was doing was wrong and shouldn't be held responsible.
According to Diddy's defense, what he's saying is that his mental capacity to commit the crimes while he was wasted is part of why he's saying, he should not be charged in these crimes. He even has a doctor who is lined up to testify. Now, prosecutors have filed their opposition to this line of testimony. Basically, they're saying he has a mental condition bearing on the issue of guilt. So I don't know what he's trying to prove here.
Right. But which crime is he saying he
He did.
I guess what he's saying is the effects of the drugs and alcohol on his memory and cognitive function. They're saying his defense is trying to say because of that, he shouldn't be held liable for what happened. So I don't know. This should be interesting to see how this plays out. Prosecutors also want to block testimony of a forensic video expert that says that video was basically altered. That's what Diddy.
Which video? The Cassie?
With Cassie, yes. Yes.
All of this proves that Diddy is guilty, and he's now just trying to lie his way out of jail. This is why Diddy's lawyer and the law firm that he had been working with for over 20 years dropped him as a client. They saw Diddy as a liability, and once they saw the evidence against him, they realized this case was unwinnable.
Sean Diddy Combs' legal team is getting a little smaller. As the rap mogul's defense team prepares for his May trial on sex trafficking charges, his attorney, Anthony Rico, respectfully but regrettably requested to be dismissed from his role, according to documents obtained by NBC News. Rico, who is one of 6 attorneys on the case, requested in the February 21st filing to withdraw as representation because, quote, under no circumstances can I continue to effectively serve as counsel for Sean Combs, consistent with the ABA standards for criminal justice. The motion continues, quote, while I'm aware that the local rule requires that an application for withdrawal of counsel is supported and granted only upon a showing by affidavit or otherwise of satisfactory reasons for withdrawal, there are sufficient reasons related to the protections afforded by the attorney-client privilege for brevity in my application for withdrawal as counsel in this case.
So the high-powered law firm of Grubman, Shire, Masalis, and Sachs has dropped Combs as a client. Now, this is the firm of Alan Grubman, who is a very prominent entertainment lawyer that represents some very big names. The Weeknd, Madonna, Chris Brown, Paul Simon, Usher, Bruce Springsteen. In fact, by the way, Alan Grubman was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He actually helped found that back in the 1980s. So it gives you an idea about how big of a powerhouse this firm is. Now let's go back to Sean Combs. So the rumor circulating is that this firm did this because singer and actress Lady Gaga had threatened to leave the firm unless they parted ways with Combs. This is according to reporting by News Nation. And it's a big deal because the rapper and producer had apparently been with Grubman's firm for over 20 years. He was friends with Alan Grubman by all accounts.
Diddy is nervous too and has been trying to get rid of any incriminating evidence for months now. His attorneys are challenging the search warrants used to search his homes in Los Angeles and Miami, arguing they were unconstitutional. The defense claims the warrant applications were overbroad and everything that the Fed seized as a result should be excluded.
Jury selection is officially underway in the sex trafficking trial of Sean Diddy Combs. Chloe Malas was in federal court today. And Chloe, no jurors selected, but a pretty revealing start to the 8-week trial.
Lester, that's right. It was an illuminating first day of court. Combs entered the courtroom wearing a crew neck sweater and a white button-down shirt. He had some gray in his hair and in his goatee. And at one point, he told the judge that he needed to use the bathroom and that he was feeling a little bit nervous. Now, also, several celebrities were named today, although they haven't been accused of any wrongdoing. They might be mentioned during the course of the trial. Their names are Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers, Kanye West, and his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who has accused him of years of physical and emotional abuse. And she is expected to testify during the trial. Now, Combs has vehemently denied all of the allegations against him. I also want to point out that celebrity attorney Mark Garagos, he was present in the courtroom. His daughter is Tenny Garagos, one of the lead attorneys for Combs throughout this trial. Now, a source telling NBC News that he hasn't joined the team, but he is advising on jury selection.
Now, to Sean Diddy Combs, looking to suppress evidence in his federal trial, senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is back with the story. Good morning again, Aaron.
And to you, Michael, you'll remember federal agents from Homeland Security Investigations were hardly shy when they raided Sean Combs' opulent homes in Los Angeles and Miami, guns drawn. The jailed music mogul now argues those searches and other searches of his iCloud accounts, electronic devices, and New York City hotel room following his arrest were unconstitutional. His lawyers argue evidence obtained through those searches must be suppressed. Diddy's lawyers say the government presented a grossly distorted picture of reality when applying for the search warrants, omitting certain facts and including salacious details from an unnamed producer that were never credible. Combs has pleaded not guilty to racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and prostitution charges. The defense is also arguing here his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, was a willing participant in drug-fueled sex performances called FreakOffs, not coerced as prosecutors allege. This latest challenge to his case comes 3 months before trial, and as Combs loses one of his attorneys, Anthony Rico says under no circumstances can he continue to represent Combs. He offered no details about that decision, Robin.
Okay. All right. Thanks to you, Aaron.